Howdy, folks. Really hope you're doing well and having a productive week. We appreciate you reserving a little bit of time today to hang out with us and learn a thing or two about the awesomeness that's marketing automation. I'm Chad Collette. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Ledger Partners, and obviously this is one of my favorite webinars to do. When it comes to marketing and CRM, I could sit here and talk about those two things all day, but I do promise we'll get you out of here in just 30 minutes. I will admit I do get a bit jazzed about ClickDimensions, a marketing automation solution that's fully integrated with Microsoft Dynamics CRM, which is what we use here at Ledger Partners each and every day. I kind of look at it like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Separately, they're both really good, but together they become amazing. I mean, how many people put peanut butter on one piece of bread and then jelly on the other, then eat them separately? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Same could be said for keeping your email marketing separate from CRM. Putting them together just makes it so much better. So before I eat up all the presentation time getting everyone hungry talking about sandwiches, I'd like to start by answering probably the most asked question during any webinar. Is this webinar being recorded? The answer is definitely yes. As a follow-up today, you'll receive an email from me with a link to access this webinar on demand. And we encourage you to share that with others in your company and also your network. Click it and share it. To achieve the best audio quality today, we got everybody in listen-only mode. But we definitely encourage questions. If you have questions at any time during the webinar, you can enter those via the question pane in the GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll address those at the end as we have time. If for any reason we don't get to all the questions, we'll definitely make sure we follow up with you offline. Before I introduce one of my favorite partners and our presenter, Megan Berner from ClickDimensions, I would like to take a brief minute to introduce our company, Ledger Partners. I know joining us today we have several of our current customers who are very familiar with LedgeView, and I want to thank you for your business. We also have a lot of people who may not know LedgeView, so just let me give you the quick dime tour of who we are. Now, the very best way to see who and what LedgeView is all about is to go to our homepage at ledgerpartners.com and watch our new 90-second video. And we had a ton of fun making this video, and we really hope you enjoy it, as it really reflects our company and our passion and our culture here. At Ledger Partners, we live and breathe CRM. In fact, CRM is all that we do. When Ledger started back in 2007, a conscious decision was made by our owners, Lisa Benson and Doug Fussell, to not be all things to all companies, but be very, very good at one thing, and that's customer relationship management. Ledger is headquartered in Appleton, Wisconsin, and is a Microsoft Dynamics CRM Gold Certified partner, and also Salesforce.com Cloud Alliance partner. We're a member of the President's Club, Inner Circle, and Partner Advisory Council for Microsoft Dynamics. But more important than the accolades from Microsoft and Salesforce are the great relationships we have built with our customers over the years. And that's what really drives Ledger Partners and makes us who we are. And is reflected in our 98% customer retention rate, which is our favorite statistic. So now, I want to introduce one of our favorite all-time partners and your host for the next 25 minutes. She's always smiling. She's super energetic. Megan Berner from ClickDimensions. Megan, are you ready to talk a little Marketing 2.0?
Absolutely. Thank you, Chad, for the wonderful introduction. All right, so I am Megan Berner, as Chad mentioned, with ClickDimensions, and today we're going to take a look at email marketing and marketing automation, but take a look at that inside of Dynamics CRM. So taking a look at the agenda for today, we're going to talk a little bit about Marketing 2.0. What has marketing become today, and how does that differ from the old school look at marketing where you're casting that wide net? We're going to talk about bringing that new concept of marketing natively into your CRM environment, and then I'm actually going to walk through a couple of examples of campaigns using ClickDimensions live environment. So all of the data that you're going to be seeing today is real live statistics. Now, marketing has evolved over the past several years with the introduction of social media, content marketing, and all of the different channels that people are now using to really get your name out there. So, of course, with the adaptation of people using the internet for research, using social media to engage with customers and other consumers, marketing has had to adapt their mindset. So we take a look now at some of these statistics. So they say 2/3 of people most buyers today are about 2/3 to 90% of the way through their buying cycle. So they're already out there researching products and services before they engage with a vendor. So it's very important for you now to evolve your marketing techniques to really supplement that? Are you putting resources out there readily available for your consumers to see without having to talk to a rep? The other statistic that I find very interesting is 50% of qualified leads are not ready to purchase immediately. Do you have a nurturing process in place to continue touching those leads? So a lot of these things have really brought what we call now the modern marketer. So you think of marketing 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, you think of that person that is very good at developing content. So they're that graphic designer, that person that makes the very pretty marketing technique or marketing collateral. Now we still have need for that marketer, it's very important. But today's marketer, the modern marketer, is more of a marketing technologist, somebody that can embrace technology to automate marketing processes and really create a great funnel for your sales process. So the modern marketer today influences the IT budget. They need technology to accomplish their job. Of course, when we take a look at that, CRM comes into play. They need a place where they can store customer and prospect data, account information, segmentation criteria. So the modern marketer today needs to know and understand how to use CRM, and they need to be able to track those critical points of segmentation. ROI. A marketer needs to be able to track ROI. As budgets get cut within organizations, a lot of time marketing is the first department that gets hit. So being able to really show the cost of lead generation and how that turns into that return on investment is key to today's marketers. So they need the technology to be able to track those data points. So this is where marketing automation comes in. So automation is taking the traditional concept of email marketing but expanding that. So a lot of you today on the call are probably doing some form of email marketing, out newsletters, or you're sending out campaigns to your marketing lists. But very few companies have really embraced the whole concept of marketing automation, where we're bringing in this other set of functionality. So what you see on the screen here, this is really what marketing automation consists of. So not only that email marketing, but also web tracking. What are your prospects doing out on your website? How are they getting there? What content are they looking at? Are you providing them with the content that they need to make decisions about who they're engaging with and what products and services they're going to consume? Lead scoring. How do you measure the effectiveness of your campaigns? How do you compare one lead to another based on their interactions? Nurture marketing. As we took a look a few slides ago, a lot of qualified leads are not ready to purchase today. Those buying cycles have been extended because there are so many options out there that they really want to do that homework and that research to determine the best product or service to go with. So nurture marketing, we want to be able to stay in front of those clients so when they are ready to engage or to purchase that they think of your company first. So we'll walk through a couple of these features in the live environment, but of course with 30 minutes we're not going to be able to get to everything today. So I do encourage you to follow up with either Chad or myself afterwards, and I would love to take a deeper dive into the product. Now what I find a lot of marketers doing today is what you see on the screen here. They are using CRM, and they're really using that to track their customers, their prospects, their accounts, but we typically see they're doing that on more the operations side of the house. Their sales team is using it, operations, maybe support. We find marketing is not using CRM very much, maybe to pull marketing lists. What we find is your marketer is typically using a separate email marketing tool, something like Constant Contact to send out emails. They're using a separate tool to monitor their website, separate tool to monitor social data, separate tool to capture web form information, so those things like contact us forms. Now, of course, the problem with this approach is you've got marketers working in a variety of different tools. You have all these separate silos of data that don't talk to one another. This also makes it very difficult to share this information across your organization and to measure any return on investment or any analytics behind that marketing campaign. So what ClickDimensions has done to address that pain point that we see so frequently is we've captured all of that marketing technology together in one solution, but we've housed that inside of Dynamic CRM. So ClickDimensions is actually built natively into your CRM. Dynamic CRM is the only platform that we work with. So it's actually going to be brought right into the marketing menu of your CRM system. Now I did see that a few of you on the call today are not on CRM 2013. That's okay. ClickDimensions works with CRM 4.0, CRM 2011, 2013, and we work with both those online customers and people that have CRM installed on premise. Now, if we take a look at the basic functionality of ClickDimensions, email marketing is probably the most commonly used feature. When you're building those emails inside of ClickDimensions, whether it's a newsletter, an autoresponder, or an automated email, you've got several options to create. So I find a lot of marketers have some experience with technology and with HTML, so they like to use something like our freestyle editor. That's going to be a what you see is what you get or a WYSIWYG type designer. Or we've got some organizations where they don't have that graphic designer on staff and they need something that's going to be a little bit more simple, wizard driven. So we've got a couple options for that type of marketer as well. So you can really have access to several different types of designers. We also take email marketing to the next level. So primarily when people are doing email marketing, they're sending out a bulk email. So you create a marketing list and send that communication to a whole list at one time. Now ClickDimensions handles that very well, but we also give you the ability to send individual individual emails directly from a contact or lead record. We've got a great nurture marketer that I'll show you today. We can also automate processes via workflow. Now this is one of the big benefits to having a marketing solution that's built natively into your CRM. As you'll see in the presentation today, all of the data that ClickDimensions brings into your system is structured within your CRM tables the same way as your traditional data. So that allows you to then use things like advanced finds, charts, and dashboards. So for example, if I send Chad an email and he clicks on that link, I could automatically update his record, I could automatically send him an email or notify the sales rep. Web tracking. So ClickDimensions is tracking all of your web activity, not just the identified visitors. So if somebody came to your website, maybe they said, world's best manufacturer, and they get brought to your website, you might not necessarily know who that visitor is. So what ClickDimensions does is we're going to create a record called an anonymous visitor. That will house all of that information. So that's cookie-based tracking. We'll tell you how they got to your website, what pages they looked at. We'll do an IP address lookup. So we'll tell you the company name and that location. Now once that visitor begins to interact with you, so they either click on a link from an email that you've sent or fills out a form on your website, we recognize that visitor and tie that anonymous data to their contact or lead record. So really following that web activity all the way from initial interest through a qualified visitor. And I'll show you some examples of that. We'll also talk about nurture marketing. So let's go ahead and get out of the PowerPoint. We'll spend the rest of the time today in the live environment. So I want to walk through a couple of examples. We're going to take a look at a bulk email send, something like a newsletter. We're going to take a look at content marketing, and then we'll take a look at some of the web tracking. Now I would say the most common use of email marketing is something as simple as a newsletter. A newsletter is a really great way to stay in front of your customers and your prospects, establish your company as an industry thought leader, and also keep that branding in front of them. So if we take a look at where ClickDimensions lives within your CRM, you'll notice that we fall into the marketing section. So I am showing in a 2013 environment today for those of you that are still on CRM 2011. We're also in the marketing section. You'll just notice the menus are a little bit different. Now, today in that marketing section, you've got contacts, leads, accounts, and marketing lists. ClickDimensions uses all those same records, so you don't have a duplicate source of contact data. Where we come in then are these different entities, things like your web tracking, your form, and your survey integration. Now the section that I'm showing you here are the emails that I've already sent out. So here you can see all of the newsletters that my company sent out. I can easily monitor my open or my click rates among a similar grouping of emails. Now when you're sending out a bulk email, you have full control over the design of that email, full control over who that email comes from. The marketing lists, you can see we just use the native list that you have available within CRM. So no importing or exporting of data, no need for sync time because we are built natively into your CRM environment. We've got some testing built in so you can do things like inbox previews to see how your email is going to render in a variety of inboxes. We've got spam testing built right in. We've got A/B split testing available. Now once you've sent your email, all of those results are tracked automatically into CRM. So now marketing can go in and see their performance. So this particular report is showing you very visually what happened to your email. So I can see how many people clicked on those various links. Really gives you some nice visual feedback to your email. We've got your traditional email statistics. So here I can see the overall performance of the email. I can see how many people the email was sent to. I can see how many people opened or clicked on it. I can see the deliverability. Now the nice thing about these statistics is we're actually tracking these inside of your CRM. So everything that happens with that email, whether it's an open, a click, a bounce, maybe they unsubscribe, we actually create a corresponding record called an email event within your CRM. That's linked to the contact, also linked to the email. So what that means to you now is this information is reportable, queryable, and actionable. For example, you could break that click report down by product line, geography, or sales rep. You could run workflow actions off of these statistics. You can also now include your marketing list data in your marketing data in your queries for your marketing list. So instead of saying, I want to send this email to all contacts that are manufacturing within Appleton, Wisconsin, you can now say, I only want to send it to people that have looked at more than 5 pages on my website or have a lead score of a certain threshold. We've also got a click report built in, a pretty standard report showing you the list of the links that are within the email. The difference here is this report is real time. So if I come back here next week, I may see that these numbers have increased. So I can see 221 people clicked on this link 307 times. I then can drill into any of those links and have the exact name of those individuals. Now, another nice thing to mention about ClickDimensions is we don't price based on users. So now everybody within your organization can see and use this information, although we do follow role-based security, so if you choose not to give people permissions, you've got the ability to do that. So now your sales team or your operations team can see the results of everything that marketing is doing. So we will also take a look at an individual contact record in a moment. But the next thing I want to talk about is content marketing. So there has been a very big evolution of content marketing within the last few years as a source for lead generation. The days of casting your wide net are over. Companies are now putting out relevant information that is very specific to drive awareness, establish yourself as an industry thought leader, but also for lead generation. So here's an example of a campaign that we've run at ClickDimensions. We do several ebooks, and I'll show you some of those at the end of the call. But this particular campaign, this is a ClickDimensions landing page with a ClickDimensions form embedded. This form that you see here was actually built inside of ClickDimensions. You could also add these into your website. So things like contact us, request for information, we can capture that data. So when I hit the submit button on this form, there's a whole series of automation built around that. So going back into your CRM environment, I can now see all of those forms that have been filled out. So I'll go into the marketing menu and see the posted forms. Now, again, this is my real environment, so you can see all of the various forms that have been filled out. So here was that particular campaign. Notice it's linked to that campaign, so if that turns into a sale, I can attribute it back to that. Now, the first thing it's going to do when it brings this in is look to see if that individual was in your system already. So I was in my CRM already. It's going to link that to my existing record. If somebody new were to fill that out, it's going to create a new record. Anytime that ClickDimensions is creating a record within your system, you determine whether you'd like that created as a contact or a lead. So whatever fits best with your business process. Now, if you notice Chad here, he filled out that same exact form about an hour ago. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Chad's record. So Chad, I apologize, we're going to pick on you a little bit. So now let's switch hats for a moment. Marketing is doing all of this great work to generate leads for your sales team. Sales can go now into an individual record and see everything that they've done. So ClickDimensions is going to add some menu options to the menu. So if I go in to Chad's record, first off, I can see every email that marketing has ever sent Chad. So we've sent him 39 emails. He's received them all. Chad likes this. He opens all of our emails. He clicks on most of them. He's never marked us as spam. He's never unsubscribed. You'll also notice that we're scoring Chad's activity. So every time that Chad clicks on an email, we're giving him a point value. From that, I can also see the visits to the website. So whether Chad came from an email or from Google or from Facebook, I can see all of his web visits. So I can see he's usually coming in from Appleton, Wisconsin. I can see keywords if he has searched. I can see campaigns. I can see the browser and operating system that he uses, and you can see that Chad spends a good amount of time out on our website. So I can see how many pages he looked at, how long he was out there. All of those activities are then scored. Forms or surveys that Chad has filled out. We have integrations built with things like GoToWebinar like we're using today, WebEx, and Eventbrite, so I can see any events that Chad is registered for. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to summarize this information in the profile. So the profile will show your reps the most recent interaction with the email and the website in the bottom right corner, the latest form, and then we're going to look for Chad out on social media. So we'll look for Chad on things like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+. You can see we found Chad on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Clout. It pulled in his picture, so that's likely pulling in from one of his business accounts. I can see his total lead score, so 5,000 is a very high lead score because Chad is very engaged with us. And now I could go directly to Chad's LinkedIn profile, see if we have any mutual connections. So a lot of very great information that we're tracking on Chad. So now, as I interact with Chad, all of those source campaigns can pull through so I can track that return on investment. Now another thing I want to mention, I can interact with Chad from his contact record. So I could go in and I could send Chad a ClickDimensions email. So I could send him an individual email that's trackable, so I'll know if he opened or clicked on it. I can add Chad to a nurture program, and I'll show you the nurture designer in just a moment here. But Chad downloaded a piece of content. So I might want to go in now and say, let's add Chad to my ebook campaign because that was the one that he had just downloaded. So I can, Chad, I won't add you so you won't get my nurture emails. But let's take a look at what those nurture programs actually are. The nurture designer is not meant for more the individual emails that you're sending out like a newsletter. This is best for something like an automated or a drip style campaign. So at ClickDimensions, we use these a lot of times when people download web content from our site. But I've got customers that use this for onboarding new clients, nurturing cold leads, trade show follow-up. So let's take the trade show example. A lot of organizations spend time at trade shows. You go there, you get a whole list of leads. Some of those leads are interested, they're ready to buy. Some of them are interested, but they're maybe 6 months or 9 months out from even really considering their options. Whereas others just stop by to get the free pens that you are giving away. So it makes it difficult to segment those when you get to the office and you want to start marketing to them. So what if you could go in and send them an email and put a call to action in that email? Click here to download our product catalog. Wait a week and see if they took that call to action. Now notice that branches. So if they took that call to action, maybe we qualify them and we notify the sales rep. If they didn't, we're not going to forget about them. We're going to send them another email, wait a little bit longer, and put in that same type of branch. So you could build this to be a 12-month nurture program or however long you needed to keep touching that person. So a really great way to continue nurturing those leads until they are sales ready. When we take a look at those notifications, and I'll actually show you an example of one. So when Chad downloaded that ebook, I got a notification. So if I wasn't in CRM at that exact time, I still knew that. This email was sent to me in my Outlook inbox, and I can click on Chad's name, go directly out to his record. Now, I know we're getting a little close on time. I do want to save some time for questions. So I'm going to go ahead and show one last thing here, and we're going to take a look at the web tracking. So many of you are likely using Google Analytics today, great tool, but that's very high-level tracking. ClickDimensions works very similar. It's the same type of tracking script, but the difference is it's going to be very micro-level tracking. So we'll show you who those individuals are, where they came from, and what they looked at. So for example, Mike and Angeline are identified. because they've clicked on a link or they've filled out a form in the past. Everybody else is that anonymous visitor that we talked about earlier. Now, a lot of people today are doing online advertising, so things like Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads to drive traffic to your site. I can use Advanced Find to then slice and dice this information in a way that's relevant to the end user. So as an example, we could go in and see who clicked on my Google remarketing ads today, because we're tracking where those visits come in from. So now as a marketer, you can very easily see the duration and quality of those visits, the conversion rate. We can look at these as a dashboard as well. So again, this is our production system, production environment. You can see how many visits that we have coming in from Google ads compared to Bing ads. The beauty of the CRM dashboards, as you probably have seen, is you can drill into the raw data behind those. So if you want to look a little bit more granular, you can do that as well. So we're getting a little close on time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Now, as I mentioned, there's a lot more to ClickDimensions that, of course, I can't cover in 30 minutes. So if you are interested in more of a personalized presentation, please let myself or your account rep at Ledgeview know, and we can absolutely schedule some time to dig in a little bit deeper. The other thing that I urge you to do is go out to our website, just clickdimensions.com, and check out some of our premium content. We've got a lot of really great information for marketing within Dynamic CRM, and a lot of these apply whether you're using a tool like ClickDimensions or not. So Chad, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you, and if there are any questions, feel free to type those into the Q&A pane.
Thank you, Megan. Wow, that's some great information. And as she said, if you have any questions, go ahead and put those into the GoToWebinar question panel. And the first thing I think is that I never realized how much time I actually spent on the ClickDimensions website, clicking through your stuff. Boy, I'm almost kind of like a ClickDimensions stalker, I think. So, I do want to remind everybody that we'll be sending you a recorded version of today's webinar. So you can watch for that in your email inbox. It's going to be coming to me from, using ClickDimensions and Dynamic CRM. In fact, my template's already built, and your names have been dynamically populated within the marketing list. So my only task here is to manually upload this recording when we're all done. So it's a truly an amazing time saver tool. So Megan, a question that just came in is, can you do a quick overview of the landing pages?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of marketers today are not the same people that are in charge of their website. So whether you're using a content management solution or not, some marketers don't have the ability to create a landing page on the fly. So that's where ClickDimensions comes in. We've got a landing page designer built in. To create that page, you have the same options that you've got for the email designers that we looked at. But the difference is then ClickDimensions will host that page for you and give you a link to easily drive traffic to. Then that page can also be linked to a campaign, so you could see how many people hit that landing page. Of those people, how many actually filled out the form, really be able to track some of those conversion rates.
All right. Hopefully that answered that question there. So, and you said thank you. So wonderful. Thanks, Megan. Looks like that's all the questions we have for today. So, Megan, thank you again. There was a ton of awesome information. I want to reiterate, if you have any additional questions on ClickDimensions or would like a full demo, what Megan touched on today was just scratching the surface. I know I use it each and every day, and I continuously learn, things every day. A great resource is at ClickDimensions.com. They've got an amazing newsletter goes out. They've got a great blog where they're offering up, user tips and tricks to, get better at it and understand email marketing and marketing automation. So I encourage you to check that out. So if you'd like a full demo, give us a call here at Ledgeview or reach out to Megan directly. And, thank you, everyone, for joining us today and talking Marketing 2.0. Make it a great day.